Good morning and welcome to this week's Wednesday with Orbis. I'm just going to give you a brief update on a lot of our projects that are going on. There are MAPS 1 projects, MAPS 2 projects, and Bond also. Lots of things going on. I'm going to talk in phases. We've got 3 different phases that we have planned out. They're going to be somewhat going along at the same time, but the reason we're in phases is we're trying to group things together that will attract more bidders. If you have several projects that bidders can come all the way to Altus and do several different projects, usually we can get a lower price. So that's kind of the goal. And so I'm going to kind of walk you through some of these, and then as they start to progress, we'll talk more about them in the future. But on phase 1 with MAPS 2, we're going to be replacing the fencing at AECC and AIS. We talked about it when we were passing MAPS 2. That will be privacy fencing, similar to what's behind Verizon, that white, tall, about 7.5-foot fence. Also, bus shelters at all the in-town locations that are schools, not all around town, but just at the school sites. We're working on those. They're going to be similar to the ones that are on the base, if you've ever seen those. Also on MAPS 2, we're going to be adding air conditioning to the high school gym, which is fantastic. It'll be great for volleyball and also other events that we have, maybe graduation or whatever we have in the gym. But excited to see how that's going to look and feel. And then with the bond money, we're going to look at cafeteria renovations, and I'm going to show you those here in a little bit. And with building fund, we talked about parking lots where the old church was across from the old library. That's been torn down. We're going to bid out the parking lot there, and the one on the east side of AES, which is Old Sunset. We've bought 2 old houses there. We've got some gravel. We're going to turn those into some nice parking lot. That's phase 1. Phase 2 is all MAPS 2 money, and that's the auditorium restroom addition and renovation. I'm going to show you that today. And then also MAPS 2, the district-wide restroom renovations. They've been through all the restrooms in the district, and now they're working on plans that hopefully we can show you in the future. Phase 3, which would be the last phase, but we've already started the drawings and the renderings and working on that, are the safe rooms. There'll be a safe room at AES, which will be 3 classrooms and a set of restrooms. The safe room at AIS will be 2 large STEM labs. The safe room at Altus Junior High will be a wrestling facility with locker rooms, and the Altus High School safe room will be a wrestling facility as well. The reason those are last is because we are applying for FEMA grants. We've already applied for those, and you cannot break ground until you have been approved from those. So we can do all the architectural stuff. We can do lots of behind the scenes things. We just can't break down on the safe rooms until we find out if we got the FEMA grants. We won't know that for at least 18 months because that's how long the process is, but it's worth the wait because these 4 safe rooms are going to cost approximately $11 million, and we can get 68% of that paid for by FEMA. So that'd be over $7 million that we can do other projects that were further down on the list that we didn't have the money to do. Okay, so let's talk about the cafeteria. It's been a long time coming, but we're finally getting closer. And here is a little bit of an aerial view. This is the south side. Here's the street. Here's the parking lot. And what we're going to do, we're going to take these trees out. They left those in this particular drawing. We're going to take those trees out, and to tie the building into the current high school, if you recall, on the southeast corner of the high school, there's arches. So we're going to add arches at both entrances of the cafeteria to tie that into the high school. And we're also going to add brick. We're going to re-brick it with a thin brick that matches the high school as best we can. And then everywhere there's trim along the top, the old copper. We're going to replace that with brown metal to match the metal roof at the high school. So hopefully the cafeteria will match the high school much better. We're going to add lots of concrete. There's going to be a courtyard out here. There's going to be more walkways here, sidewalks here and there. And then most of you maybe don't even know because it's kind of stuck in an unusual place, but the Lincoln Memorial from Old Lincoln High School is right here. We are going to take it down during construction so we don't damage it, but it will be going back up. We just want to make sure that it's in a very prestigious place that it deserves. We don't know if we're going to put it in the front or keep it over here, but we're going to take it down so we don't damage it. Here's another view. If you're looking straight at the high school, again, the cafeteria, the trees won't be there. We're going to take those out, but this gives you an example of the arches. This arch is rounded. We're going to correct this one, and it's going to be rounded as well. One thing that Mrs. Holder had an idea. Originally, we were going to put different medallions on here, like the City of Altus, Altus Air Force Base, but she had the thought of doing all of our buildings that we've closed. So Northeast Junior High, Southeast Junior High, Lincoln, Wilson. So we're going to look at their names and or mascots, and we're going to do those medallions. There'll be 8 of them, and we've closed 8 schools. So we'll put 4 here and 4 on this side, and then of course we'll put our Bulldogs here. It's going to be a beautiful building. These are really early preliminary drawings, but we're getting close. And hopefully some of that work will start in January. Don't freak out when you see this. These are brighter than they really are, but this is the flooring that we're looking at for inside the auditorium. It's the travertine. It matches, it doesn't match, but it's travertine is what's in the high school right now, the real nice flooring that doesn't have to be waxed and it'll last longer than the building. This is the design that we're currently looking at. It won't be this bold of color. The reason it's got the swirls is, of course, the building's circular, and the old lighting fixture up top, chandelier, we're going to somewhat match it, and it's in a circular motion. But this also, those 2 entrances, we're going to totally redo the 2 entrances so that it's a true entrance, and the floor will match as well, and then the eye draws in with these circular motions. So that's what we're looking at. Hopefully, once we get closer, we will show that to you as well. But that's the high school cafeteria. Now at the high school auditorium, that's part of the MAPS 2 because of the bathroom renovations. Here's a top view of it. If you'll notice, to meet code, you have to have 14 lady stalls, and so we could not do that. Originally, if you recall, I wanted to build out here, so we're going to have to build out towards the front, and I'll show you that here in a minute. The other thing that's going to be a little bit unusual, and I'll show you a bigger picture. So here's the lobby. When you walk into the auditorium, there's going to be several stalls, but there's some electrical panels and security panels here, and there's no room to hide those, so we're going to flip-flop. This is going to freak everybody out probably, but the men's is going to be on this side in the future. The women's will be over here because there doesn't have to be as many men's stalls, and so we're going to be able to build a closet to hide all those boxes. But we are going to have plenty restroom space, and then we're going to renovate the lobby. The floor looks great, but they got some really exciting things to do at the ceiling. And that's what that looks like. And then here's a great look from the front. If you'll notice, it's going to blend right in. If you're used to the auditorium, it kind of comes in sections. And so this is just going to be another section out front. It really looks great. And then they're going to do an art design with the brick to kind of make it pop. So anxious to see what that looks like. They're still working on that. I'll try to keep you up to date. But hopefully that kind of gives you an update of where we're at on our MAPS 1, MAPS 2, and the bond. Things are going great, and I'll keep you informed. And as always, may God continue to bless Altus Public Schools.